Alright. So, what's up, homies? The Khaiza is back again with another like real talk discussion, right? And this is like part from like a stream, and we're gonna be uploading this video for I think like some time. I don't know when, but it will surely like be there. But mainly we're gonna be talking about, we're playing like DMC 5 music, or we're playing DMC music because something really happened in the shakeup of like Capcom, and that is Hideaki Itsuno, the man who is responsible for, you know, DMC 5, DMC 4, DMC 3, and other games of the like, right? Like Dragon's Dogma, for instance. Apparently, he came out and said that he will be quitting, leaving Capcom, right? When I got that news, I was like, yo, what the fuck? This dude is leaving Capcom after like, how many years? He's been working for Capcom for 30 years and 5 months. Leaving Capcom. And from September, he will start developing a new game in a new environment. Now this like shook many a Capcom, especially Devil May Cry fans all over the world, right? This is like a guy that pretty much is responsible for, you know, mainly what Devil May Cry is today, you know? This guy, Hideaki Itsuno, is responsible for, you know, not just DMC, not just Dragon's Dogma, but also other games that, while he was like working at Capcom, was responsible for. Have y'all heard of Project Justice? Have y'all heard of Capcom vs SNK 2? Yeah, he was kind of like Itsuno was kind of like, you know, the man behind those great games, right? He basically like made those games for fun and made them the way they are, like Rival Schools being like, you know, everybody remembers fondly high school kids beating the shit out of each other. And I mean, I shouldn't say the next part, everybody knows Capcom versus SNK, right? But more importantly, it is like DMC guy, right? This is the guy who literally like made what Devil May Cry is today, you know? He's like the person that really fleshed out what the action like combat for Devil May Cry really is. The style switching for Dante, you know, the fun shit that like you can do in DMC 4, DMC 5, right? He was the executive producer of DMC 3, DMC 4, DMC 5. He's also the producer for Dragon's Dogma. He did Dragon's Dogma 1, he did Dragon's Dogma 2. Those were his babies, you know? So it came really much like as a shock to us like Capcom like action fans, hearing about this, you know, on the day of when this announcement was made, and Itsuno leaving Capcom. Now, what does this mean for the projects that could later be like developed by Itsuno under Capcom? Technically, this means like no DMC, right? Ultimately, there will be like no DMC because Itsuno is like, as some people would, you know, put him on this like pedestal, like, you know, the founding father, which is kind of factually like not incorrect, right? It was Mikami and Kamiya who did work on DMC 1 and 2, but Itsuno was the one that like, you know, followed like in their footsteps, which is, you know, they both left Capcom, right, a while back. Kamiya left Capcom after like grievances from the company in the early like 2000s. And Mikami also more so with like Resident Evil, right? Both made their own companies respectively, with Mikami being Tango Gameworks, right? The studio that was behind Evil Within 1, Evil Within 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, and Hi-Fi Rush. And Kamiya being like, you know, the big boss of Platinum Games, responsible for Bayonetta, Wonderful 101, Metal Gear Rising, right? Although I heard, like, I think Kamiya left Platinum Games after the whole, like, Bayonetta 3 scuffle. So I'm a little bit, like, loose on, like, that information. But yeah, dude, like, Itsuno leaving Capcom is, like, a huge shock, and the IPs that are, like, you know, are in, like, Capcom now, are now just, like, on, like, are, like, in a boat, just, like, waiting for signs of life, like, on a raft, drifting, like, in the ocean, waiting for signs of life of God, you know, sort of shit. And, yeah, like, Itsuno leaving Capcom, for a lot of people, is, like, you won't be able to get a DMC, like, 6 again. But I don't know if, you know, that is the case, that we won't be seeing, like, a DMC 6 again, right? The biggest, like, takeaway from here is that, yeah, Itsuno is leaving, but we should be happy that he's, like, worked hard as he did for 30-something years and 5 months for the company, and is now stepping out, right? Again, Kamiya and Mikami from Capcom left to do their own thing, and they've made wondrous games as a result of it from their experiences working at the company. And see, look at all the different stuff that, like, he was well, a planner, Japanese version only, but he was the director of Devil May Cry, Dante's Awakening Special Edition, DMC 4, Dragon's Dogma. He was the director of Project Justice. He was the co-director and director of Power Stone 1 and 2. He was the supervising director for DMC, and of course DMC 5, Special Edition, and Dragon's Dogma 2. So his credits are, you know, short, right? But the stuff that he was, like, in charge for, and, you know, was calling, like, the shots, dude, his resume is fucking, like, legendary, right? So yeah, like, I'm wishing Itsuno, like, all the best wherever he, like, finds, like, inshallah, he can find, like, good work, have, like, more creative freedom and open space to make the games that he wants to make, and, you know, find employees that are like-minded around him, you know, to make, like, you know, a Devil May Cry, like, another successor, right? I mean, we have that, which is, like, literally Bayonetta, but imagine, like, the possibilities that we can get, like, a new action game from Itsuno's, like, rep, and make it, like, style switching, make it, like, super badass, like, holy shit, right? Just thinking about it now, right? I'm already thinking about the possibilities of, like, what he'll, like, make with, you know, his creative freedom, like, in motion, sort of thing. And also, right, that doesn't mean, like, you know, games like Devil May Cry will, like, cease to exist, or Dragon's Dogma will cease to exist. Hell, or even a new project, or Project Justice / Power Stone. We've seen like a revival of Power Stone. Project Justice, with the hands of, like, Capcom Fighting Collection, and the new people working at Capcom, especially, like, Matsumoto and Nakayama-san. Dude, they've been doing wondrous things for the fighting game community, bringing back older collections of fighting games. So if they were to, like, step in tow, have, like, new blood come in and, you know, really follow the footsteps of Itsuno, dude, I'm all for it, right? Right? Capcom has not been, you know, that bad yet. I mean, of course, they have been bad in the early, like, 2000s and whatever happened, like, prior, but so far they've been on the right track of making just, you know, fans happy, giving fans, like, what they want, especially with the fighting collections, the HD repackaging, and the popular successes of, like, Street Fighter 6. and everything. I don't know about like Dragon's Dogma. I heard it did relatively like okay, but still Capcom is like doing good and better than have ever. Yeah, I wish like Itsuno, like, you know, the bestest of luck. Inshallah, hope he finds like, you know, hope he finds like better work than he ever had like before at Capcom, and hope he has like a good time, right? That's all of like I'm really like want to say. Yeah.